The Rouleur Classic is a bike show for hipsters. Based in London for 2.5 days only, it's a celebration of bike-based beauty, cutting-edge velotech and, from what I can tell, drinking. Now in terms of fashion, I'm firmly at the back of the peloton, if not the Lanterne Rouge. Nonetheless, it seems that Rouleur will let anyone buy a ticket and attend. So I did, and I did. And in this video, I'm going to show you all the cool stuff that I saw at the show. The day started with a train ride down to London, which gave me the opportunity to feel uncomfortable shooting videos on a railway platform. Now a quick request before we start. Please hit the subscribe button and the like button, it helps the channel grow and I'd love for more people to watch my videos. The Rouleur Classic takes place at Victoria House in central London, near to the British Museum. The inside had been transformed into a pretty funky exhibition space. The show involved a range of top-end bike makers, component companies and clothesmeisters, all showing off their bestest, most exciting velotastic products. There was also a packed schedule with panel discussions and interviews with luminaries from the cycling world, all of which took place in a dedicated and sometimes packed theatre space. There's some clips at the end of this video. Talking of incentives to keep watching, some of you may know that the funky new high-tech Team GB track bike was revealed at this year's Rouleur Classic. Stick around to the end of this video and I'll show you my footage. Now there's an offer. All bike trips, even if you're not turning a pedal, should start with a coffee. And since this was a high-end cycling event, the coffee was good. So, fully caffeinated, it was time to get into the bikes. A major theme at the show was electric road bikes. And electric road bikes where you had to look pretty hard to see that they had any power assist at all. This is the Rouleur Cento 10 Hybrid, a fine example of the species. The motor is in the rear hub. The slimline battery is in the down tube. The motor is engaged by pressing this simple button. The bike uses almost entirely standard components, including around the bottom bracket, which hasn't been widened to accommodate a motor. This means the distance between the crank arms, the Q factor, is not increased. Your pedal stroke and your knees will thank you. The only non-standard element on the bike, apart from the motor, is a longer rear axle. The chap at Rouleur told me they're aiming to revert to a standard length in the next version of the bike. There were plenty of normal road bikes as well. You couldn't really call any of these normal. Fill your eye holes with these beauties. There was also plenty of bike bling on show. Campagnola had their usual array of Italian engineered finery. Shimano was showing off their new GRX gravel group set with its chain slap reducing clutch. And in case you were worried about the lack of gravel bikes so far in this video, the Rouleur Classic had a whole room full of them. There were smaller companies as well. Speedplay, fresh from its recent acquisition by Wahoo, was showing off its full range of pedal-shaped lollipops. I was particularly interested by the Ceramic Speed booth, they of the outsized jockey wheels and the ceramic bearings. Ceramic Speed were demonstrating the Driven, a drivetrain that dispenses with chain and derailleurs in favour of a rigid and not a little beautiful driveshaft design. It's not about the looks though. Okay, it's not all about the looks. The design is better at transferring power from your leg guns to the tarmac than standard chain sets. They say 99% efficient, with 49% less friction, and that's a lot of numbers. Recent work with Specialized has shown it to be #MoreAero as well. It'll be a while until the Driven is commercially available, and who knows how it'll fare on the Derbyshire muck roads, but I'm happy to test a demo model if they want to send one. You can't go 5 minutes on my blog without mention of a certain piece of Castelli foul weather clothing. Now vlog watchers get a piece of the action. This year marks 10 years since the introduction of the Gabba, now known as the Perfetto. Castelli was on hand with earlier iterations of the garment, as well as the current 2019 Rain or Shine version. Gore had a lady sewing Rouleur Classic musettes, presumably so the Gore crew could give the full sales spiel to punters in the queue. Not much selling required here though, their kit was lovely. Santini, the Italian makers of World Championships jerseys amongst other things, was there with a colourful display of kits of yore, as well as their latest fabric tech built into this skin suit for the Australian national team. The lady on the left is Santini's chief executive, don't you know. Finally, not to be outdone, shoes and shades were at the show in abundance. Mavic even had a guy giving their shoes a custom paint job. He reckoned, once sealed, they'd stand up to daily use, though he couldn't confirm whether Mavic had tested the shoes in Derbyshire cowmuck. Again, I'm happy to step in. Whilst there was plenty of bike tech on show, it was more on the component side rather than bike computers and smart trainers. That said, with 2019 seemingly the year of the smart bike, it was no surprise to see a couple on show. Wahoo were demonstrating a couple of kicker bikes along with their Headwind smart fan. It was pleasing to see that the video course they were using looked exactly like Yorkshire. Tacx brought along their Neo Bike Smart, along with a bright yellow Neo 2 Smart Trainer, which would certainly brighten up my damp garage. Now, whilst the smart bikes from Wahoo and Tacx are designed for your living room, with the Fuori Pista, Elite brought along an indoor bike more at home on the deck of your motorboat. More interest to me in my budget was the relatively new Elite Sueto, or Suito. Having seen other smart trainers, I hadn't quite realised how small and compact the Suito was. Apparently pitched at an attractive price point, this could finally be the model that launches me into the world of smart trainers. One last trainer before we move on. I was interested to see the 4i Flight trainer in the flesh. It uses magnets to generate resistance rather than anything physically touching your wheel. I didn't see it in action, but by all accounts it works, so that's all good. Contrary to popular belief, it's not all about the bike. The show had plenty of other cool stuff, including interesting pro cycling memorabilia. This was the Rouleur Desire Grand Tour Gallery, featuring a selection of race-winning bikes over the past decades. I'll take the pink one, I think. This exhibition won the Sportive Cyclist Best Cupboard in Show Award. What a prize. Former pro road and track cyclist Rob Hales was there, showing off his fine array of cycling-inspired custom jewellery, as this poorly shot video doesn't really capture. Okay, these are bikes, but they still go in this cool stuff segment. They've all got custom paint jobs, including this one. If my moustache-related 90s trivia serves me right, this is the livery that adorned Nigel Mansell's Williams F1 car when he won the World Championships. Finally, for those people with bikes so expensive that you need to lock them up inside your house, Velohawk were displaying these premium secure bike storage boxes with James Bond style pneumatic doors. They even do a clear-sided one for people that like their prize fish made out of carbon. Now, before we get into our final act, I did promise at the start of this video a glimpse of the new Team GB track bike, so here we are. Designed by component maker Hope Technology and Lotus Engineering, the bike will be used at the Tokyo Olympics in 2020. Let's hope it rides as fast as it looks. The day finished for me in the Rouleur Classic Theatre. I hovered at the back of the peloton briefly before attacking during a feed stop and securing my place in the break, or a seat in front of centre stage. It was a long day in the saddle, fighting to keep position during some interesting talks from professional cyclists, product designers and brand managers. It was worth it though to be in prime position for the Chima copy. Some American guy talking to former British road champ and cyclo-media chap Matt Stevens. No, wait, that's not right. I had a velotastic time at the Rouleur Classic. Whilst not exactly intimate, it's a small scale show. You get plenty of space to get up close and personal with the bikes. There were many famous in the world of cycling folk just wandering around. And there are few places that I'm going to get this close to Greg LeMond. If cycling is your bag, you should definitely go next year. Maybe you'll see me there. I'll be the one with the mini video camera feeling inadequate next to this guy. That's it for this video. You've been watching Sportive Cyclist, the Mammal channel. I've been Monty, and I'll see you next time.